Alright, here we go. We're going to workflow this image of a father with a little newborn baby. First thing I want to do is just point out that the image size has been reduced to 72 resolution. Off the camera it came off at 300, but in order to speed things along I reduced it to 72. Anyways, the same steps will apply. And the first step we always do, as normal, and it's kind of a little unusual, is called sharpen, unsharp mask, and we're not sharpening. We're doing a good old defog, so 20, 60, 0 are the three settings. And of course what that does is punches up the contrast, takes the haze away. I'm not going to work on any color enhancement because this image here is going to be going sepia tone. That's the ultimate end result. So, but I do want to kind of beef up the tones a little bit. So I'm going to run into levels here. And you notice, okay, I underexposed it a little bit. Let's just crank that over a little bit. I don't normally like to play with contrast too much for fear of overdoing it. Because most of the time I get these things pretty close and the exposure is pretty important. And kind of missed it on that one, didn't I? Let's look at this area right here, right under Dad's chin. We've got that double thing going on. People generally do not like that. And back in the good old days, we used to reduce that with pencils and oils and whatnot. So we're going to use a clone stamp to duplicate that look. And it's a bit tricky at times. What you want to do is do one of two things. We're going to darken the light area. See how light it is right there? And we're going to go to low opacity. Let's stick with 24, maybe a bigger brush. And we're going to darken that light highlighted area, which is creating almost a sculpting effect of the chin line. I'm going to go to lighten, and what I'm going to do now is do the reverse. Is I'm going to lighten that dark area. Make it smaller. We still have a light area, and I'm going to go back and darken that. I'm going to go under here. There. We want to smooth the lines out effectively, blending them in with the other areas around it. So, a little bit tricky to do at times, but if you take the line away, or most of the line away, it removes the illusion of the double chin. Now we can go in and just sort of use the burn tool, smaller brush, low opacity, on mid-tones. Just create a little more shadowing effect just in the chin area, just to darken it. Now we're going to stick with the burn tool and go back to highlights. And now I'm going to burn all the way around in highlight mode, just to give the pixels something for the burn tool to bite into, because I'm going to now switch that to mid-tone and do another burn, always starting with the highlight blend mode first. You notice this area down here was getting a little bit obvious with the back of the background showing, so I'm going to burn that down. I want to create a much more dramatic look. That's effectively what we're doing there. Next thing I want to do, go to Adjustments, use Saturation. Click on Colorize, type in 25, and there we've got our sepia tone, 25, 25, 0. And there's our sepia tone. And it's almost there, folks. Let's just run a couple actions. Actually, I'm just going to run one more action, and then I'm going to add a little bit of noise. So we're going to run the HajiSoft. Make that a little bit softer. There we go. All these steps are included in the action, softening, and then now we can erase whatever area we wish to reveal some of the not softed areas. We're going to stick with that. That looks pretty good. I'm going to go under his eye a little bit right here. I'm just going to retouch that a bit. I'm going to go to lighten, low opacity, just enhance that under the eye a bit. And finally, we're going to add a little bit of noise. Give it a little bit of mood. So there you have it. Piece of cake. It's all done. Hope you enjoyed that. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm going to add a few more things to it. I am going to add a pinstripe to it. Very easy to do. I'm going to add like a competition gallery look. So what I'm going to do is go to the background color, and there's a lot of ways you can do this. You can pick a color within the image, and then once you've got that, you can go into your color picker tool here and pick any, you know, tone or range of tone. And once you've got that selected right here, we're going to go to canvas size. Make sure, well, we can click off relative and go the old-fashioned manual way and type in the numbers mathematically, or I just like to go in and, you know, a nice thin pinstripe. For a larger image, you would go with a larger pinstripe. Don't go too loud. And you can see the pinstripe all around there. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here now and pick a darker one. I'm going to show you in a second how you can make that pinstripe a little bit lighter, but just let me finish this here. Let's go 2 and 2 and 2, and there we have a, notice that, very subtle. There's the pinstripe. Okay, and I'm going to go back in history here and pick something even lighter if you want it to pop out a little bit more. Canvas size, again, 0.08, that's the numbers that I used. And that even jumps out a little bit more. Go into here, you can make it even darker now for the background. Image, adjustments, canvas size. Let's go 3. And 3. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that. If you wanted to go in there and add a nice drop shadow. Let's just look at the size here. Okay, that's 9 by 14. Let's go new. Go to inches. 16 by 20. And I'm going to create a new background. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick 2 colors. And let's just go with those 2 right there. And I'm going to go to filter, render, clouds, and there's the 2 colors blended as clouds. Now let's go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and we're going to blur them even more. And let's open up image adjustment levels, and we want to darken that a bit more. Okie dokie. Now let's go and grab the move tool, go back to the original image, and if you hold down the shift key, drag it over, it'll drop it right in the middle. Now when it drops it, there's 2 layers. So all you have to do is click on the top layer, and you can go in and grab your drop shadow. And I like to go to normal and go into color picker just for fun. We'll add a nice deep red, and there you can see the drop shadow. I'm going to increase it just a little bit more, just for effect. There it is. So there's your drop shadow. Again, you don't want to overdo it. Just make it subtle. And then once you're done, go to layer, flatten image. Or you can save it as a PSD file if you want to go back at it later and fix it. So there you go. A few variations on a nice pinstripe and background.